Okay, here we are back in the shop. If you saw my recent video where I compared a bunch of different California legal featureless rifles, you'll remember that when one of my comments when I was shooting my wife's gun, or you may remember I should say, one of my comments when I was shooting my wife's pink gun was that it definitely needs a new trigger. Got an email the other day, James Madison Tactical, announcing a new drop-in trigger assembly that they're producing. There was a low introductory price at the time, so I grabbed two of them. Figured I'd do a review, possibly potentially upgrade my wife's pink rifle, the trigger in that, and compare it to a couple other triggers I've got, including mil-spec triggers and some CMC drop-ins that I've got experience with. Package arrived the other day. Two of these in the box, nicely packaged. What's in the package? Nicely machined drop-in trigger assembly. Couple little Allen set screws and an Allen wrench. The instructions don't come with it. You download them from their website. They're fairly simple, straightforward. If you're using anti-rotation pins, which I ordered on their website, 20 bucks, it's kind of a no-brainer. So I ordered the pins, but if you're not going to be using those pins, the little Allen set screws insert from the top here and would push down on the bottom of your receiver, putting upward pressure on the whole chassis to keep your the pins from walking out. There is no the little stock spring like on the factory hammer and trigger. That's not there on this, so it needs something else to keep the trigger pins from walking out sideways from the receiver. So those set screws are there to provide to do that. My suggestion is, if you're ordering this for 20 bucks more, buy the set of anti-rotation pins. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to be looking at today. I'm going to go ahead and do the install here on two different rifles. I'm going to do one off camera and then I'll do the other one on camera. And then once the weather clears up, I'm going to get this thing out on the range and we'll be doing some testing with it and see how it works. Okay, so here we are. Just got done installing one in my wife's gun. The reason I didn't do that one on camera is that it's an 80% polymer lower that I had some issues with when I was building it initially. So it was not going to be a normal install. So this is a James Madison Tactical lower that I built a while back. You've seen this gun before. It was in that same video that I talked about needing a better trigger for my wife's gun. So let's open this thing up, see how this goes. First of all, verify the gun's clear and take the upper off. Alright, put the upper out of the way. And standard lower, standard mil-spec trigger in this one. Nothing special. And first thing we got to do to get the trigger out is to remove the grip. So alright, so there's that grip slash stock. Get that out of the way. Don't want to lose the screw, and that spring's not going anywhere. Get that detent out of there. Come out, and it's not coming out. So let's just, there it goes. Alright, so there's the detent. Pull the safety out. I'm going to be replacing the safety with a ambi while I'm at it. Doesn't change anything on the install. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is take the hammer pin out and there's that, and there's the hammer and spring. Put that pin back can just so I don't lose it. And then the next thing comes out, or that comes out, is the trigger and sear. A little downward pressure makes it easier to pull these pins out. All right. There we go. And there's that. Stock mil spec. I think this was a DPMS kit. I can't remember for sure. There it is. The trigger housing area that had to mill out when I was building this is now open. Let's grab the new Sabre trigger. I'm not going to need that. And I should drop right in. If I milled the receiver right, that is. And, all right. And it appears it's not dropping down in far enough, but I can't see why. Let's pull it back out of here. Nope, I see why. I left a little lip when I milled this. So I'm gonna have to clean that up. Got the trigger well milled out properly now. The other parts fit fine because they don't go all the way to the bottom, whereas this drops all the way down into the bottom. So there was a little bitty lip at the bottom of the trigger well area that was preventing this from dropping all the way in. That's now gone. So back to where we were. Drop the trigger assembly in. All right, let's try this again. There, much easier to drop it in now. Line those back up. Just noticed I did not put this back together. So in order to finish to remill that spot on my receiver, I had to pull the bolt catch out, put this back, and we can get back to work. All right, there's that. That's back. All right, there's that. Finish putting the safety together here. Need a new bottle of blue Loctite. All right, there's that. Let's put the detent back in here. Try and hold this so you can sort of see what I'm doing. Hopefully this is nothing new. All right, there's that. Bolt it back together. All right. Let's see what we got here. Feels good there. Let's put the upper back on. Make sure we got no interference issues. That was a we've got no, just in case it wasn't clear on the audio. Alright, there's that one. There's that one. Alright, safety's on. Nothing. Safety off. Nice. Nice and short. Very short throw. Short pull, I should say. Here, see if I can. Here we go. There's a reset. Not much movement at all. Okay, so you saw the installation. Here's the wife's gun. It's a nice looking trigger. Got a little, it's hollowed out in the middle there. Feels nice and smooth to the finger. Just dry firing it. I like it. Very nice, light, predictable. So we'll see how it does in the range. Alright, so here we are out on the range. You saw what was involved with the install. Dry testing the gun, everything functions fine. The trigger feel is smooth. Clean, crisp break. Not a lot of over travel, very minimal take up on reset, and a very noticeable reset. So overall, just dry firing it. I really like this gun, or this trigger. And so let's put some rounds through it, see how it performs. Get my ears on. That was a failure to feed, and I'm going to guess it's probably part of the problem with this very old magazine. But that's the first time I've ever experienced that with this gun. So keep shooting, see if it was I don't see any way that could have been the trigger, but we'll run it a few more times, see if I have any more problems. Some of these are partially loaded magazines that are laying around from the last comparison video that I did. So here's the other rifle that I installed the trigger in. It's a JMT lower, James Madison Tactical lower, same manufacturer as the trigger. This is in a California legal featureless setup here, and it's got the ARAC 21, Faxon Firearms ARAC 21 Upper, which I currently have running in 300 blackout. So, let's run some rounds through this one and see how it functions. That was a 10-round California magazine. Alright, so while the pink rifle's cooling off, run a few more rounds through the 300 blackout ARAC 21 with the other Sabre trigger in it. Both of these are the same trigger setups, just installed in different rifles. So far everything's working perfectly. I had that one failure to feed in the pink rifle, and I'm not really going to fault the trigger for that. That gun's seen quite a few rounds, and I think I've cleaned it once since I made it. So, okay, so just got done shooting both of these rifles. Had one malfunction out of several hundred rounds. I wasn't keeping track. Both guns functioned perfectly. The only malfunction I had, like I mentioned, was the one round. It was a failure to feed on the pink rifle. The pink rifle's been run several years now with very minimal maintenance. I've been lacking on that, but I cannot attribute that malfunction to the trigger. I don't see how a trigger would cause a failure to feed. So let's take a quick look inside both of these and see if there's any weird wear or anything that would cause concern. Both of them at it. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, so there is a little bit of an odd looking wear mark at the very top corner of the trigger, or the hammer here, where the bolt carrier slides back to reset it. No weird wear on the bottom of the bolt carrier though, and that's, I mean, this gun is just breaking this trigger in. Other than that, take a quick look here. Trigger functions like it's supposed to, so that's a plus. I'm not concerned by that wear mark. It's nothing that I can feel. It's just a visible wear mark where the bolt carrier slides across that. Take a look at the James Madison lower here with the ARAC 21 upper on it. Set that aside. Okay. Again, visible wear marks, nothing out of the ordinary. It's a brand new hammer, so it's going to pick up some wear marks from use. It is different looking, different in appearance, the wear marks are, only because the ARAC 21 has a different bolt carrier assembly, so it resets the hammer a little bit differently than a standard AR-15 bolt carrier does. But looking in there, everything looks fine. Nothing's come loose. Springs are all where they're supposed to be. Let's take a look at function. Everything functions exactly like it should. So for 99 bucks for a complete drop-in trigger with an advertised 3.5 to 4 pound trigger pull, both of mine came in. This one is just a hair over 4 pounds on average, and this one was just a little bit under 4 pounds average trigger pull. No complaints, everything functioned perfectly. It's the trigger pull, the reset, everything is very consistent, not only on the same gun but between guns. If you're looking for more information on the James Madison Tactical Sabre drop-in trigger, that will be all available in the written review. It'll be on full30.com at the blog over there. And it will also include links to James Madison's website and where you can purchase their triggers online. Any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments.